Good afternoon, everybody. The Music Fan is back, bringing smiles to the faces, knowledge to the people, and most importantly, music to the masses. And I am back with another Are You In? Now, yesterday and today, I did a kind of a thematic double Are You In? Yesterday, I took a look at the Raconteurs' newest album, an album from a band that had dominated the indie blues rock scene for quite some time, but hadn't put out an album in a very long time. Continuing that trend, we are looking at another indie garage blues rock band who hadn't put out an album for a long time, and that being the Black Keys and their newest album entitled Let's Rock. Now, the Black Keys are a garage rock, blues rock, indie rock band from Akron, Ohio, with members including Dan Auerbach on guitar, vocals, bass guitar, and keyboards, and Patrick Carney on drums and percussion. Their previous albums include The Big Come Up in 2002, Thick Freakiness in 2003, Rubber Factory in 2004, Magic Potion in 2006, Attack and Release in 2008, Brothers in 2010, El Camino in 2011, and Turn Blue in 2014. Now, going into this album, I actually had no idea how many albums that this band had put out. I always thought that they started with Brothers and just kept going, but they had a decent amount of albums in the 2000s that I would love to check out and see just what their sound was before they made it big. However, of course, their biggest moments came with Brothers and El Camino, garnering hits such as Tighten Up, Lonely Boy, and Gold on the Ceiling. My first listen of a full album of theirs was Turn Blue. I had enjoyed what I had heard the singles-wise from El Camino and Brothers, and I was interested because Turn Blue got so many rave reviews that I wanted to check it out. What I came away with was something a little bit more experimental than their previous songs. Songs like Weight of Love being a 6-minute opener, and such an interesting one at that, having like very psychedelic rock themes, as well as some like jam band kind of themes. But there was also other great songs on that album, including In Time, Turn Blue, Bullet in the Brain, Waiting on Words, and It's Up to You Now, and even Gotta Get Away, being the most blues rock song on the album. I found it interesting, and yes, not every one of the experiments paid off, but I enjoyed an album that was so diverse in sound. Danger Mouse was the producer on this album, and you can definitely hear his work on this album. Danger Mouse being someone who worked with CeeLo Green, among other people, and has made a name for himself as a producer in the scene. Fast forward 5 years later, we have the newest album from the duo, and this one is actually self-produced. So I was honestly kind of worried, only because of just like the name of the album. It seemed pretty simplistic, and to be honest, a lot of this album is still pretty simplistic. That's not saying that it's a bad album. There is no bad song on this album. However, there aren't really many standout songs either. And it's weird. It's like there aren't any D songs, but there aren't any A+ songs on this album. Let's go over some of the pros and some of my favorites. First off, Firewalk With Me, the last song on the album, is a great closer, has so much energy, and has some reminiscent ideas of Lonely Boy. But it feels a little bit more subtle, and it feels a little bit more layered, especially with the hand drums later in. I also really enjoyed the guitar solo, as well as the guitar work on the choruses. Next up, we have Get Yourself Together, another really, really fun song. It has a great vibe. I love the melody on there. Such a great vibe. It has this great, like, southern classic rock sound that is just so fun to listen to. Next up, we got Sit Around and Miss You, another very classic rock sound. If you were to put this song on a classic rock radio station, I don't think people would cry foul. I will say it does feel a little bit more modern on the choruses, with just like a little bit more production, but still a solid song. Tell Me Lies is another one that has a great feel as well. I love the harmonies. I love the muted guitar work on there. A lot of these songs are fun, and this one's another fun one to listen to. Walk Across the Water, another good song to listen to, a little bit slower and a little bit more different from everything that's going on, and because of that, finds a niche on this album. And then Shine a Little Light, the opener, is one that has a lot of great energy and a great way of opening up the album. I like the contrast between the lighter stuff and the heavier stuff on the chorus. There's some great harmony work on here, making for a great way of opening up this album. Lyrically, a lot of these songs are also pretty solid. Shine a Little Light is talking about losing a loved one and losing meaning in the world because of it, and hopefully being able to use that memory of this person to keep your head above water. Eagle Birds is a song about finding love where you least expect it. Low and High is talking about self-medicating someone's pain and loneliness through alcohol and drugs. Tell Me Lies is one talking about a relationship built on lies and keeping that together. Kind of similarly to Live a Lie off of the Raconteurs album. Sit Around and Miss You, very sentimental song, and I love the sentiment there. Talking about missing a friend or a lover that you once hung out with, either due to passing of time, a falling out, death, and just, wishing that they were there. Very sentimental song for a classic rock song. And then most of these other songs are talking about being with a loved one and being there for them. Whether it's Get Yourself Together, or it's Go, or Walk Across the Water. A lot of these songs are dealing with relationships. So there are some positives here. And most of this honestly is positive. Even my least favorite song on the album, Go, is only because it's such a short song. There are some really interesting ideas out here, even on the weaker stuff. Go feeling a little bit cross between a blues rock song and a surf rock song. The guitars are very bluesy, but the drums are very surf rock. And even Eagle Birds has this great old style blues idea with picked chords and slide guitar. There's a lot of good stuff. The problem that I have is that a lot of the stuff doesn't discern itself from other songs in the album, let alone other ideas like this in the blues rock, indie rock scene. A lot of really serviceable songs, just not a lot that stands out. Breaking Down, Every Little Thing, Low High, decent songs with a lot of power, just not much there in terms of layering, in terms of making those songs more interesting than what they already are. Under the Gun is a little bit better because it's just a little bit more fast-paced and has some great harmonies, but honestly, the biggest problem here is that there's a lot of bare bones stuff and not a lot of meat and potatoes. What you see is what you get with a lot of these songs. Once you hear a riff, once you hear a chorus, that's basically what it's going to be. In comparison to Turn Blue, which had a lot more going on, a lot more layering, a lot more intricate and complex arrangements. This to me has a lot of sweetness but not a lot of substance. It's a shame because on its own, a lot of these songs are really fun to listen to, and I would listen to them again. However, it just feels like I'm having a lot of sweets without anything that's going to fully fill me up. This is still fun though, and a great listen, and it's honestly not that long. It's about 38 minutes, even though it does feel shorter than that. And because of that, I wouldn't necessarily do a pick and choose because I feel like every song has its own merit. But I wouldn't go necessarily as a listen over and over again, because kind of once you listen to the whole entire album, you kind of have an idea of what it is. It's a lot of on the level, on the surface rock songs without much filler. For that reason, I'm going to say listen to the full album. Once you're there, definitely pick and choose afterwards. I would still probably also listen to Fire Walk With Me. It's great. Get Yourself Together is great. Sit You Around and Miss You is a lot of fun. Walk Across Water is a lot of fun, but the reason why those are fun is because they feel a little bit different from the blues rock cliched ideas. They're a little bit softer, or they're a little bit faster, and even still, another problem that happens is even the best song on the album to me is very reminiscent of other works that they have done, even to the point of the music video. Fire Walk With Me is very, very similar to the Lonely Boy music video. And even Sit Around and Miss You has some of that ideas that Lonely Boy has. People dancing in a pretty silly way. Still not bad, just nothing truly amazing. That is my time. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you like or hate this album and your reasons why. Share this with your friends. Let me know other albums from 2019 that you'd like me to review. and subscribe to my channel so you can watch more videos like this and to know that you support what I do. So I'll be back with another 5-minute theory as we go over a little bit more of the overtone series and also build our major scale through overtones. But until then, this is The Music Fan, and I'm signing off.